Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. PW Sports signing in, and let's get right to it. Today, we're going to look at every NFL team's most promising building block entering the 2026 season. And training camp was right around the corner, thank God. So, building block for me would be somebody you drafted or somebody who's developing, and it's like, okay, you kind of want to build around this player. This player has potential. We need to get some more around them. Mostly are quarterbacks, but for some teams, the quarterback situation isn't solved. So we'll just see how this goes. First up, the Arizona Cardinals, Paris Johnson Jr. Now, this is one of those teams, like I said, they really don't have a quarterback on their roster, as in the future franchise quarterback. They have Carson Beck that they drafted. They got Gardner Minshew, who they signed to free agency. You got Jacoby Brissett, but they don't have no potential franchise-changing guy. And Paris Johnson Jr. has been stable at their left tackle position. He's also from The Ohio State University. So, this makes a lot of sense. They picked up his fifth-year option. He's played very well for them and is ranked in the top 20 amongst tackles in 2025. So, he hasn't been a Pro Bowler, but he's still one of those top players that this team can continue to build around for the future. They just got to get their quarterback position together. Next, for the Atlanta Falcons, Jaylen Walker. Jaylen Walker had a really solid rookie season, 36 tackles, 5 sacks, and he's gotten after the quarterback a lot. It would have been James Pierce, but a lot of those other things, yeah. But you got a lot of skill players in this roster, when especially you're talking about Drake London, Kyle Pitts, both they just extended, and you got Bijan Robinson. Quarterback position is kind of like Arizona's. It still needs to be solved. Is it going to be Tua? Is it going to be Penix? Or are they going to have to transition in 2027? And Jaylen Walker is one of those players that's on this football team that's played really well and can potentially build that defense around him for the foreseeable future. Next up, the Baltimore Ravens, Nate Wiggins, very young football player. We already know about Lamar, the established guy. So it's just a younger core piece to build this defense around. Nate Wiggins is really solid. He had a really, really impressive year last year in his second season. And he really was a mainstay on the Baltimore defense that didn't start off great, but they got better and better, in my opinion. They started to play a lot better as the season went later on. And the contributions that Nate Wiggins had was a big part of that. He continues to stay healthy. He continues to grow in this new Jesse Minter defense. I absolutely believe in him. I do. Next, the Buffalo Bills, Cole Bishop. Now, we would have wanted that to be Keon Coleman, but he just hasn't lived up to it. Cole Bishop has been solid. This is a defense that has kind of let this team down at times, but Cole Bishop has been one of those mainstays at that back end of that defense. Solid safety, and he's been one of those pieces that's been really solid for the Buffalo Bills' future. So I like this pick for them. Buffalo Bills, Cole Bishop, yeah, because Keon Coleman just has not lived up to what they thought he would be. So Cole Bishop is another solid young piece to build this football team around. Next, for the Carolina Panthers, I think Bryce Young, really young, you can stay, not poor intended, can really just say this is the easy pick. He really had a very, very mature year 3. And you get him a weapon like Tator McMillan, who could have been a guy they picked on this list. They built it around. This is a really good pick. Really good player. I still like what the Carolina Panthers are doing on both sides of the football. And this team does have a brighter future. And Bryce Young, his year 3, and if he can continue that and continue to grow into year 4, I can see this. Bears, I mean, come on, man. Come on. Y'all knew it was going to be my boy Caleb Williams, the Madden cover. Year 3, tremendous year 2, where he almost surpassed the 4,000-yard mark. The comebacks, the plays late. He did not have a great divisional round against the Rams with the 3 interceptions, but easy choice for the Bears. They are building this football team around Caleb. And another player they've been building with is Darnell Wright. I love what he's doing at that right tackle spot. So, and then Rome Odunze, let's see if he could be healthy in year 3. But yeah, Caleb Williams was the easy choice for my Chicago Bears. Easy choice. Buffalo Bills, Amarius Mims. We already had Chase and Burrow. Those are established players. But Amarius Mims is one of those players on that offensive line. Well, yeah, he had his bit of ups and downs. But when he's up, he is a really, really, really good offensive lineman, a really good tackle. So I really like what they've done with the offensive line, continue to get it better. I just wish they would not play so much in shotgun, and I think that's been a hurt for this team. But Amarius Mims, he's been getting better and better as far as his play goes. And he's the tackle that you could build his offensive line around. So I like this pick for the Bengals. APW Sports signing in, and today's video is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Now, me having ExpressVPN has done wonders for my life as far as protecting my passwords, protecting my secret credit card and debit card information, and keeping things private from the dark web and keeping things not to get exposed. One thing I do like is that things were previously exposed, you will get a notification to your phone that will let you know, hey, this has been exposed, you might want to take action right now. Let's just say you want to unlock different parts of Netflix, you can change your VPN to, let's say, the UK or let's say Japan or somewhere like that, and you get access to different shows on ExpressVPN. And as a content creator and a guy that spends a lot of time on the internet, having a VPN will do wonders for you, and it's done wonders for me. To get started today and get 3 months free, click the link below and use code APW Sports at checkout to get 3 months free of ExpressVPN. And I will tell you guys now, this is something that you will not regret to have, as it will protect everything that you own, protect everything that's on your internet, and protect your server so it can prevent hackers from getting into it. So make sure you use the code APW Sports to check out to get 3 months free. Now, let's get back to the video. For the Cleveland Browns, Carson Schweschinger, I mean, this is an easy pick. Very good football player, defensive rookie of the year. Really, really good football player. You could build him around that defense now that the Myles Garrett thing is gone, and Jared Verse is in the building. You could probably have him as well. But Carson Schweschinger has played really good football. He almost gives me, I'm not going to say compare him to Luke Kuechly, but he gives me those Luke Kuechly style vibes as his play. He really does, and I'm interested to see how he can continue to grow in the future of that Browns defense. But I like Carson Schweschinger just pick. Next, the Dallas Cowboys, Donovan Ezaraku. That defense was a liability, but young football player, really solid. Second round pick in 2025. He only had 2 sacks, but he did play the very key role. 9 tackles for loss, 12 quarterback hits, and he crushed the quarterback, 26 pressures. But it's to see if he's going to be healthy, because he did have hip surgery this offseason. But he's a player that you can really build this defense around if he continues to grow and stay healthy. I like the potential of Donovan Ezaraku, so I can see why they make this pick here. Next is, easy quarterback Bo Nix. I still believe, and I've said this on a couple of videos, that if he does not get hurt in that AFC divisional game, the Broncos are representing the AFC in the Super Bowl and not the New England Patriots. I'm still in belief of that. But easy, you get yourselves Jalen Waddle, you got Cortland Sutton, you got J.K. Dobbins and them in the backfield, and R.J. Harvey. This is easy. Next, Detroit Lions, Tate Ratledge. Now, this is an offensive line that has lost a couple of pieces. Taylor Decker is not out. Ragnow's gone. So, you got Penei Sewell, Blake Miller. This is a potential you can build around a guy like Ratledge. It would have been I think this team is one of those teams, they're not really that young. They have a lot of veterans on their football team, and Tate Ratledge at that guard position, he was a steady go. Continue to build that offensive line around him and Sewell. Tucker Kraft, Green Bay Packers. This is interesting. He missed a lot of time last year with a torn ACL. So, and he's probably one of the young pieces on that roster. Maybe Christian Watson, a wide receiver, but he's going on his second contract. Possibly. That defense I still think when we talk about the Packers defense, we have to see where Micah Parsons is, one, and then two, the back end of their defense. And I think that was kind of hurt them later on in the season, was the back end of the defense, and then we also know the concussion to Jordan Love. But back end of that defense, I think, is something. But Tucker Kraft, he does present a lot for their future. Henry 202. Henry 202. I'm butchering that. I probably am. But Will Anderson Jr., that defense is freaking phenomenal. Phenomenal on the defensive side of the ball. Kamari Lassiter, Danielle Hunter on that defensive side of the ball. And Henry, and the way he played in that defense, he played some tremendous football for him. So I could believe that would be a young piece of that defense. I thought it would have been Will Anderson, but he's a very good piece of that defense. Next up is Laiatu out. I could see that. Very young piece. 2024 first round pick. He's starting to show flashes. He had 8.5 sacks last year. Starting to continue to grow. He's going to be full-time starter. And I think he's going to make another jump in his year 3 football season. So I think that is a potential piece you can build around. You can have that building block of your defense. Have it be Latu. Continue to build. You lost Kenny Moore, but it's interesting to see where that defense is going to be as well. But I could see Latu being a really big building block if he continues to improve his play in year 3. Next up for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Travis Hunter. Yes. But I did a short that he's one of my more anticipated players going into his sophomore season. I want to see how they use him, and I want to see how healthy he is coming off the injury. So if he plays well, easily the potential building block to build around. With him playing both sides of the football, and I've seen reports to where he's going to probably play more defense. So I'm interested to see how that goes. So Travis Hunter, definitely a potential building block for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Kansas City Chiefs, Noah Williams. They did lose a lot as far as the secondary goes with Jalen Watson and Trent McDuffie both leaving to go to the Rams. And Chris Jones is only getting older. George Karlaftis has played solid, but he's not as young. Noah Williams, a younger secondary piece. A third year. Yeah. Or not third year, but third round pick out of Cal last year, and in his second season is probably definitely gonna have more of a role. So we'll see how that's gonna go with the defense. But if he plays well, definitely him and Monsieur Delane, definitely. Las Vegas Raiders, Ashton Jeanty. Of course, Fernando Mendoza hasn't played a snap yet, so obviously Jeanty played really well. Started to go later on into the year. It's interesting to see how they're going to look in this Clint Kubiak offense. And I made a video about this. I always said Clint Kubiak should start for Kirk Cousins early on in versus Mendoza, but that's just me. But Jeanty, solid running game, is always a young quarterback's best friend. It's a productive running game. They did have add Tyler Linderbaum in free agency. So, yes, Ashton Jeanty, you build around him. And Mendoza, solid running game is always a young quarterback's best friend. So, yes, Ashton Jeanty. Omarion Hampton, and I think he got hampered by injuries a lot last year. So, I think a healthy Omarion Hampton is a very good piece for this Chargers offense to kind of take more of the pressure off of Justin Herbert, who was harassed last year because the offensive line wasn't healthy. And if they are able to run the football, and Omarion Hampton is a big piece of them running the football, then things will change in this Chargers offense. Productive running game, Omarion Hampton has to be more healthy into year 2 of his career. So a building block, yes, definitely, to help out Justin Herbert in that offense. Rams, Kobe Turner. I mean, that Rams team is loaded, and he's probably the youngest, biggest contributing, youngest piece of that defense. Third round pick a couple years ago, Pro Bowl last year. You got a lot of guys who's experienced and veteran amongst those defenders, and him being a young piece, it's almost like he's gonna be that young potential defensive tackle piece when Ty Simpson is eventually ready to play football. So I can see why they would say he's the more building block of this football team. Chop Robinson from the Miami Dolphins. Now, this team is going under a ton of changes, whether we're talking about quarterback position, wide receiver position, defensive, a lot of places on their defense. Chop Robinson, a former first-round pick a couple of years ago in 2024. But I think in year 3, now that the direction of the franchise is now known and a lot is shifted, he could take that step in year 3, really play some productive football, and they start to build that defense around the production that he's going to give them. So, yes, I can see them being like a big building block, but he has to produce in year 3. He has to. Next up, the Minnesota Vikings, Dallas Turner. He showed some flashes as a rookie. It's just last year for me, I didn't see a lot of what I wanted to see in Dallas Turner. Now, can he grow? Yes. Does he have that potential? Yes. But he didn't make necessarily the year 2 hope or climb that I thought he would make. But I think, at least this is my opinion, he has 66 tackles, 8 sacks, 11 tackles for loss. It's just, I don't know, it's just, wherever, for me, it's just, when I watch the Vikings at times, he's there, and he's one of those players that necessarily didn't jump out for me. That might be the best way I can explain it. He wasn't one of those players that kind of like jumped out the TV screen with big plays and things like that. That's just from what I've seen of this Vikings team. He didn't jump out at me. And he's a player that has the potential to jump out and make big plays. It's just when I did watch this Vikings team and things I go, he did not jump out at my TV screen. It's like, oh, this guy's doing this guy's doing that. The production is there, but he just didn't jump out at me. Next, my guy from The Ohio State University, running back from the Patriots, Travion Henderson, with his speed and his versatility, the things that he can do in that Patriots offense. He had a really good rookie year, and he started to look a lot better later on in the year. And the boost should be with that offensive line being a lot better. Hopefully, Will Campbell could be better. They signed Elijah Vera Tucker. They drafted Caleb Lemieux alongst that front. So, having a productive running game like a Travion Henderson, Ramondre Stevenson is a good piece as well. But if Travion Henderson could take another step in year 2 of his career, he finished last year with 9-11 and 10 TDs combined, and then he had 220 receiving yards. He is a really good player with that speed and things that he can do. I've seen him at Ohio State change games. He is one of those guys that can score from anywhere, and he can change a game. And you build around him, and you build around Drake May, and I'm surprised Drake May wasn't the pick. But, yes, my guy, Travion Henderson. Next up for the New Orleans Saints, Tyler Shaw, and I really loved what I've seen down the stretch from Tyler Shaw. I really believe that he is a quarterback that this Saints team can finally build around, and I think they may have finally found an answer at quarterback since the retirement of Drew Brees. They may have finally found it in Tyler Shaw. I believe in him. I really love what I'm seeing from him, and they added to this team by bringing in Travis Etienne and drafting Jordan Tyson in the first round. Along with having Chris Olave from The Ohio State University, I'm really liking what Tyler Shaw brought to this football team. So easily building block is him. I love what I've seen from him, and I hope he can continue to grow at that position. Next for the Giants, Jackson Dart. He's kind of like Tyler Shaw. I like what I've seen from him, but the only thing is he has to change his style of play. I think he really does. But when he's in there and if he's really effective, he is really effective for this Giants offense. And it's interesting to see what they're going to do with Malik Neighbors, if he's able to be back healthy. But I really like what Jackson Dart is able to do for this Giants offense. Easy building block. He plays well in year 2. You're going to continue to build around him. Jets, Olu Fashanu, really, really good pick. Really, really good football player. Just like the Cardinals and a couple of teams on this list, they don't have an established quarterback, but he has been running right through people since he's been able to take over as the full-time starter. It has the potential to be the Jets' left tackle for the next decade or so. That's how good he's been. That's how good he's been. As a young tackle, he has been really phenomenal. And I really liked what I'm seeing from him. It's just this Jets team is just blah. And it's hard to watch this Jets football team at times, especially last year. And it might be hard to watch this year now that Geno is back at quarterback. But Fashanu, for sure. Eagles, Tyler Steen at guard. And he's only in his third year. And this is one of those teams that's kind of like, I want to say the Chargers or something. They have a lot of veterans on this football team. And he, being in the interior of that, is very good. He's been a really solidified piece in the interior of this offensive line that's gone through a couple of changes, whether it's been Mekhi Becton, whether it's been Kelsey, whether there's been some injuries to Lane Johnson. This team has gone through a couple of different things at the interior of the offensive line, but he's played really well when he's been in the football, when he's been starting, and he started all 17 games last year. I like what he can be. Build that offensive line around him. He's young. Players start to get older. He's going to be a mainstay. Definitely. Next up, the Pittsburgh Steelers, young Joey Porter Jr., 2023 second-round pick. He played really well last year. That defense just was old. And I think, and it's still, to me, a lot of this roster is older. And he's one of those players that's continuing to play well, and you can start to build things around him. So a lot of pieces is gone. Fitzpatrick is gone. So one of them, Darius Slay, who they thought was going to be well, he's out. Then you got Jalen Ramsey. He's only getting older. T.J. Watt, he's only getting older. Cam Hayward, it seems like he's been in the league forever. So the young mainstay, definitely will see that with Joey Porter Jr. San Francisco 49ers, Dominic Thuney at that guard position. And this team, as a lot of other teams, has a lot of veterans on this football team. And he was a third-round pick. So I think he's going to be a bigger role in his second season. I think he's going to play more of a bigger role in the second season. Surrounded by a lot of veterans, yes. Ranked 25th on guards. He can stay healthy. He can be a building block to kind of retool this offensive line. Because like I said, there's a lot of pieces on this line. Mainly Trent Williams is getting older. So if you start to build around him and the way he's continuing to play, and it looks like he can continue to get better, he'll be a building block. Next is Seattle Seahawks, Nick Emmanwori. Man, this man played phenomenal football as a rookie last year. He was phenomenal on that Seahawks defense, the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks defense. He was phenomenal. So I could easily see why he would be the guy that would be a building block. Phenomenal year. And I think he's only going to continue to get better. So this is an easy pick. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, wide receiver Emeka Egbuka from the wide receiver university, the Ohio State University. Easy. And I think it's his development and his presence softens the blow of Mike Evans leaving out of the door. I think that's not too much of a controversial statement. His development and his presence, him being a young wide receiver, still have more room to grow and potentially be, I think his ability and his presence makes it easier, soften of a blow of Mike Evans walking out of the door. Let's just see what they're going to do in Mayfield. But you continue to build around Egbuka and his abilities. You get more younger talent. You got Bucky Irvin from my former high school, Hillcrest High School, at that running back position. Him and Bucky Irvin are two pieces that you can continue to build this team around. And then once, whatever decision you make at the quarterback position, he has two skilled players in Egbuka and a guy like a Bucky Irvin. So definitely Emeka Egbuka. Next, Tennessee Titans, Cam Ward. I mean, this is easy. showed really good flashes during his rookie year. He has more at his disposal. Wan'Dale Robinson, Carnell Tate from The Ohio State University. So he does have more to build around. And then he also has Calvin Ridley as well. So he has a lot of weapons at his disposal to continue to grow as a quarterback, and you can continue to build things around Cam Warren. So I think this is an easy pick for the Tennessee Titans, and I still believe he has a lot more room to grow. Last but not least, Trey Amos for the Washington Commanders. This is a lot of, like so many other rosters, they have a lot of veterans. Jaden Daniels could have probably been the pick here, but I'm interested to see more of him, what he's going to do with the healthier season. Trey Amos played really solid as a second-round pick, but it eventually ended up getting hurt, which kind of hurt him and his team. But he's one of the top 30 corners in this league, so I really like what Trey Amos can bring to his football team. His team should start to get a little younger at certain positions. So Trey Amos being a young corner, I like this. I really like this. But those are the players to build around. That's all I've got. APW Sports signing out.